And welcome, everybody. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to another edition of the whiteboard. Well, I don't know if this will be called the whiteboard. Uh, I'll call it the whiteboard, but I'm not really going to use the whiteboard. I'll do that with Kelvin Benjamin next. I've been seeing some things going around on the media, and like I said, we just want to give you our point of view, which you won't get anywhere else. You know, the things we dish out over here are unique. And like I said, we're not here to sway you one way or the other. We're just here to give you information that you're not getting, that we deemed important and very vital and paramount for you to come out to a better final conclusion on player evaluations in situations, whether it's trades, waivers, drafts, whatever you're doing. We're just here to enhance that with a little bit more knowledge that you're just not getting nowhere else. You're just not getting this anywhere else, and that's what we are here to help you do. Now, what I wanted to say is, let me start off with, I'm the Fantasy Typhoon, the founder and CEO of Fantasy Football One on One. We have a couple of new projects going on that I must promote. One, we have a new Start Sit Twitter handle, and that is at FF1on1, at FF1on1, ON1, not 101, 1ON1. We're going to run that. That's all your trade advice. That's set up solely for, interaction, trade advice, and start sits on Sunday. If you need help there, at FF1on1, you can go there. You get a quick response. Hopefully we don't leave you, out there for 2-3 days and get back to you. We're trying to hit you right back. So we're trying to stay on top of that. So that's what we're doing, new project now. So make sure you not only follow the Fantasy Typhoon on Twitter, make sure you follow at FF1on1. Also, we have a new project coming out. This is going to cater to waivers and trades. I've spoken with a lot of the heavy hitters on Twitter and your social media, and got a lot of those companies to come on board, and we're doing a waiver show every Tuesday dedicated to waivers and trades, and we're doing call-ins. So we're going to do that for 30 minutes. So we're going to go full bore for 30 minutes trying to take your questions. You can either email them to fantasyfootball1on1, like one on one, at hotmail.com. So that's coming up for you. You can send trade stuff now. First episode will be August 11th. It'll be on Blog Talk Radio. We're going to open the chat room. Like I said, we're going to have the phone lines open. I don't know if we have them open on that show, but like in September when the season starts, the first Tuesday, that's when we have our live guests go. Come on. We probably have about 3 or 4 folks representing certain sites. Your big sites, your powerhouse sites, they've agreed. I'm still searching this to others. So if you want to be on the show, Fantasy Football 1on1 at hotmail.com. If you have a question, trade, you won't have waivers, but you'll have trade questions. You won't have start sits. So just hit us that way, and then we'll put you on. The show is called Pain Management. And the reason why I call it Pain Management is because we're here to help you ease the pain in your fantasy football league if you messed up your draft. So we're here to ease the pain. So that's why I call it Pain Management. So that'll be every Tuesday because, most the waivers go in Tuesday night. So we'll try to assist you and help you ease the pain. Another thing we're doing over here at Fantasy Football One-on-One, we got Typhoon Takes going, which is a daily news, on NFL news, like you say, Pierre Garçon, is paid such and such. We'll put it into a YouTube video and do it over music So you can sit back and, it'll probably be about a minute, maybe 2 minutes long, something quick. And we'll just go over the news and we'll give you the question and we answer the question in a flowing, video motion, PowerPoint presentation, something like that, over music to where you can sit back instead of just reading it. You can sit back a little bit and watch it now. So because we know you learn 3 ways. 1, you learn visual. Some folks are visual. 2, some folks learn by reading. And 3, some folks learn by hands-on. And then some people learn by all 3, which is myself. I'm more of all 3 guy. I can read it, then I can see it on the board, and then I can go out and do it, which helps me to lock it in. So I'm one of the few who need all 3. But so we got Typhoon Takes going on. So that's going to handle your news. We got you covered. Then we're stepping out even further. We're just breaking down the fantasy doors and revolutionize and evolutionize fantasy football. We're signed a deal with Rabble TV to where the first preseason game, we're going to do something to the effect to where you can turn your TV down and you can listen to us bring you the Minnesota Vikings versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, the first preseason game. I think it's August 9th on a Sunday afternoon about 8, 9 o'clock. I think it'll be the only game on. And we're going to bring you that game. Our scouting and all of this and that, we're going to, for fantasy football purposes, so we're going to try and get that up and running. So hopefully we can break the fantasy ice with that, being one of the first to do that. We're already one of the first to bring you fantasy football news over music. Nobody's done that. So we're breaking down the fantasy doors with that as well. So didn't want to spend too much time on the things that we're doing, but I have to because I want to promote it. But today's show is simple. Today's show shouldn't take over 5 minutes, and it's overvalue of 40 time. So this is going back to your draft process, your rookie drafts, and when you really look at it. So when you're putting your algorithm together or your Spark score or your things of that nature, 40 time you need to bump down a little bit, and I'm going to tell you why. And now let's go take a look at why. All right, you look at Le'Veon Bell. Now, would you consider Le'Veon Bell a 4-4 guy? No. Le'Veon Bell's top 2 traits. Now, Le'Veon Bell can do everything well, but his top 2, we're going to focus on your first round guys. We're going to focus on their top 2 traits, the top 2 things that they do well on a Hall of Fame level, which is why you're drafting them in the first round. Le'Veon Bell's top 2 traits is patience and stop-start. The guy can wait for a hole to open like no one else's business. He's the best at that in the NFL. He's so patient. He won't outrun his blocking. He will let his place develop in front of him. And the reason why he can do that is because his stop-start is so effective that he can start full speed, stop. He can start, get to 60 miles an hour immediately, stop, and go right back to 60. And other players stop, then you got 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and then they build themselves back up to 60. Le'Veon stops, 60, stops, starts, 60, stops, starts immediately right back at 60. So these are his 2 top traits. So speed, what we're trying to get you to see, speed is not a super trait in Le'Veon Bell. Now, he does have speed, but he's going to get caught from behind. So that wouldn't be considered world-beating speed. So how valuable is speed? You got to dumb it down a little bit in your algorithm. You're putting too much in it and you miss it. Eddie Lacy, what's his strength? Eddie Lacy brings power and vision to the table. Eddie Lacy can run you over with power. You know, he's more of a bruiser, more of a power back. And he has vision to see what's coming to where he can use his power effectively. So speed is not a top 2 trait from Eddie Lacy. Then you look at Jamal Charles. Now, Jamal Charles is vision and speed, because Jamal Charles is looking at the second wave as soon as he gets the ball. So he's seeing what's about to happen at a Hall of Fame level, and then he has the speed to get it done. So Charles does have speed. Now, speed does matter for Charles. That's one of the top 2 traits for Charles. So then you move on to Lynch. Lynch, his top 2 traits. Now, Lynch can do a lot, but we're focusing on his top 2. His top 2 is balance and power. That's why it's so hard to bring Lynch down, not because of the power, it's because of his balance. This man has the best balance in the NFL. So you're going to catch him from behind, absolutely, but when you try to grab him from behind, if you don't get a good grab on him, his balance is going to break that tackle. Then you look at Matt Forte. Matt Forte, his top 2 traits is vision and hands. He's going to catch everything, and he's going to utilize the open field to his advantage, and he's also going to get the ball at the line of scrimmage, and he's going to get more than what's there from his vision. So once again, speed is not. He has speed, but he's going to get caught from behind. He doesn't have that 4.4 speed. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. He doesn't have it. Now they all have speed, but they don't have speed to the point where it's one of their top 2 traits, like you're making a 40 time. Now Arian Foster, we all know Arian Foster might be the slowest running back in the NFL, but his top 2 traits is vision and cutback. He can cut back like nobody's business. He can put his foot in the ground, he has the vision to see what's coming, and then the quickness to make that one cut like nobody's business. He's in a zone blocking scheme. I don't think he would survive in a power system. He is where he belongs. Same with C.J. Anderson. C.J. Anderson is more power and vision. He's not. You will never mistake C.J. Anderson as a burner. So if your top running backs, well, Jamal Charles has speed, but he's a smaller back, so he has to accommodate something. See, these are bigger guys. You see, Bell, Lacy, Lynch, Forte, Foster, Anderson, they're bigger guys. Jamal lacks the size, so what he lacks in size, now he has to accommodate with speed. So now speed matters as you come down in weight. You see what I'm trying to say? So as you come down in weight, now you got to do something even better to once you get out in front, you need to get out in front to the point where you can't get tackled from behind, because very rarely you're going to get out in front. So we just wanted to just take a little spotlight time and just show you you're placing 40 times on running backs like it's a first round trait. But when you look at the first round running backs, 40 time is not a mandatory trait. Now, I say Adrian Peterson for last, and there's a reason why he's number 1, because he can stop on a dime, and he has the patience as one of his traits, as his top 2 traits, like Le'Veon Bell, just like power and vision with Lacy, just like vision and speed with Charles. See, Peterson can do all of this. Every one of these top 2 traits. Now, don't get me wrong, all these players have good traits, but we're talking about their top 2, power, vision and power. you know, vision in one cut, balance, and power. You see what I'm saying? So each person has a top 2 traits, but when you get to Adrian Peterson, his top traits are all of these. So yes, he should be drafted number 1, absolutely, because every top 2 thing these guys do, he can do at a Hall of Fame level on all of them. So there's no weaknesses to Adrian Peterson's game is what we're saying. Now these guys, they're good, but they have weaknesses. Adrian Peterson. So now when you hear folks, I wanted to say that to say this too. So now when you hear folks, well, he's the next best thing since Adrian Peterson. Do you know how huge of a statement that is? Adrian Peterson is a generational guy. You don't see too many Adrian Petersons. So for somebody to come out and put that type of profile on a young player's back, like something like Todd Gurley, I think I've heard folks put him like he's the next. No, he's not. He's not the next best thing since Adrian Peterson. Absolutely not. Just because he went at 10 in the first round doesn't automatically make him Adrian Peterson type. Absolutely not. So don't be misled with that. Adrian Peterson's skills is just so above. I'm talking about even these guys. These are your first round guys. He's blowing these guys out of the water as far as skills. And Adrian Peterson has speed because it's very rarely you see him getting caught from behind. Adrian Peterson can do it all. So I just want to just throw this out just to help you guys when you're doing your talent evaluations and you're making your choices as far as rookies. Speed as far as running back is not that crucial. I don't even really watch 40 times for a running back. We throw that out the window. Especially what we're looking for is see if you're getting caught from behind. And that's the main thing we're looking for on film when we're watching you when we're watching your college film. And another thing we do too on college film, we watch more games in college to get a better grasp on a player as opposed to just the cutouts. Now the cutouts have a place, and we do use the cutouts. Absolutely, we use them. But we try to watch more of the player in the full context of the game. Then that way you get his pass pro. Then that way you see what's happening when he doesn't have the ball as well. You know, you're getting a good evaluation of the player as opposed to just watching cut-ups. Now, you can just watch, and if you don't have time, absolutely go look at the cut-up. Just as long as you're looking at the player, it's basically the main thing. But if you want to get your analysis a little bit better and you want to step up and have your hit ratio expounded a little bit, and you know, in your dynasty rookie draft, then we suggest, now you can do whatever you want to do. We just kind of being transparent to what we do. Now, you can do whatever you want. You can say, hey, Typhoon, I'm just going to watch the cut-ups, then fine. You know, you can even like, hey, Typhoon, I'm just watching the highlights. It's fine. We watch highlights. But highlights doesn't make or break an evaluation. But highlights are a piece of our puzzle or a piece of our secret sauce. Absolutely, we'll sit back and watch a cut-up in a minute. Now, we won't give you a final analysis after a cutout. After you know a highlights cut up of all the best plays, but they do tell you something. You know, it does help you in your evaluation, but it's not the end all be all of an evaluation. Just like 40 times, it should help you in the evaluation, but it shouldn't be an end all be all evaluation because you see how little a 4-4 running back in the NFL matters. You know, 4-4 running back in NFL. Where's a 4-4? What, here? A 4-4 here. I think Spillo is fast. You know, that's where your 4-4s are going in what, the third round. So we just want you to just be aware of the 40 times, and, kind of bump it down a little bit. It matters, but it's not 90% of the pie. So, we're just trying to help you on your hit rate. There's some things that we do here. Fantasy Football 101. Once again, I'm the Fantasy Typhoon. You can follow me on Twitter, or you can Google or Bing the Fantasy Typhoon and just hit enter. And then that's my whole page that comes up, and you can interact with me this way, and you can interact with me that way. And the next one we'll be doing, it will be the whiteboard, and I'll be going in depth on Kelvin Benjamin. Where is he going? Where's Benjamin going? Let's see, where's Benjamin going? He's going in the third round. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going 6 in the third round. Now, a lot of people knock Kelvin Benjamin because of his 40 time. And we're going to show you that his size doesn't matter. When you can use, it's a difference having size and using it. He's big, but he's using it. You see what I'm saying? He's using it as a weapon. It's like this guy. He's big. It's 40. Who cares about his 40 time? But he's using it. So we just want to show you Kelvin Benjamin. A lot of people think, he's a flash in the pan because of his 40. He's not fast. Well, he doesn't have to be. His size compensates for that. So we just want to display some myths about the 40 time just to help you guys kind of, bump your brakes a little bit on the 40 time. Don't get so excited over it. And don't put one guy over this guy because of a 40 time. You're gonna make your valuations flawed. And that's what we're here to just try to help. And like I said, you can call me crazy, or you can say, Typhoon, I really appreciate it. All right, this wraps up the episode here. I guess I'll go ahead and call it the whiteboard. I call it the whiteboard 40 time, the myth of the 40. Okay, thanks everybody for watching, and remember, it has to happen. Remember, fantasy football is a mirror of the NFL, and it has to happen in the NFL before it happens in fantasy football. And also, don't just win, dominate.